Salutations, crustaceans! I'm Lobster, and today we're going to be reviewing the Harley Benton JB-62CC. Let's see how good this bass is. This is the Harley Benton JB-62CC. This is one of the lower to mid-tier offerings for the Harley Benton jazz bass lineup. And this bass has one big problem, and that is the rest of the Harley Benton lineup. And we'll talk more about that later. But first, let's go over the specs of this little jazz bass here. I don't know why I called it little, it's full-sized, but anyways, we have a poplar body painted in a shell pink. This is one of the few models that you can get one of the multiple finishes on, as the shell pink and other colors were discontinued on the Harley Benton MV4 JB Goto, the higher end jazz bass with the cream binding, the block inlays, Goto tuners, and I think that's it in terms of upgrades. But anyways, we have a poplar body as opposed to an alder body on those higher end jazz basses, finished in a shell pink, a mint pickguard here, two single coil Roswell Alnico 5 jazz bass pickups, and a typical jazz bass control plate with a typical jazz bass control configuration. We have two volume controls, one for each pickup, and a master tone control. The bridge is a Sung Eel, really nice Korean bridge with a nice little touch that you don't see on basses at this particular price point, and we'll talk about the price point in just a second. But first, let's talk about this neck. We have a 20 fret 34-inch scale jazz bass style neck with a D-shape profile, 38mm nut width, and a 12-inch radius. It's a roasted maple neck with a laurel fingerboard too. However, unlike the higher end jazz basses, we don't have any sort of binding or blocks here. This is just a standard style jazz. And then moving up to the headstock, we have the typical Harley Benton headstock, and this is paint matched with our shell pink finish. And we also have the 4 Harley Benton tuners. Now let's go ahead and turn this bass around. Around back, there's really not much to see here. We see the shell pink finish, the 4-screw fender style neck attachment with the neck plate, and the back of this roasted maple neck. We don't have any sort of skunk stripe, we just have the roasted maple here, but it looks great. And then moving up to the headstock, we see the back of these Harley Benton open gear tuners. Just like with the MV series, we don't have any sort of indication as to where this bass is manufactured, whether it's in Indonesia or China, so I really can't comment on that, but it's definitely one of the two. And how much does the Harley Benton and JB-62CC weigh? This particular example comes in at 8.5 pounds, which is relatively lightweight for a Fender-style instrument. I would attribute that to the poplar body, which is generally a lighter wood. But as we all know, weight doesn't matter if the bass does not balance well. So let's see how this bass balances. On the lap, we get crazy neck dive. It's bad. These are not lightweight tuners, and we have a very lightweight body here. So this thing just wants to go down. On the lap with a strap, it wants to go down still. It's neck diving. And standing up, it is a bit neck divey. It's not pulling the strap to the point where it's sliding, but I definitely feel it tugging on the strap and tugging on my shirt. And how much does the Harley Benton JB-62CC cost? These come in at $144 plus shipping from Thomann. Now, I always talk about purchasing from Thomann, like buying these Harley Bentons and purchasing, 2 or 3 at a time to save on shipping. I always recommend that. However, I want to talk about something different, and it's a big problem with this bass, and that is the rest of the Harley Benton lineup. For about $60 more, you get an alder body, you get a neck with blocks and binding, as well as a set of made-in-Japan Goto GB7 tuners, which make the bass balance almost perfectly on a strap. And you get all that for a $60 premium. However, the cool finishes on those basses have been discontinued, sadly, and all that's left right now is the Sunburst. I'd say you're getting a lot for that extra $60, and I feel like that kind of leaves this little JB-62 kind of in the dust in some ways, because you're getting so much more for just a little bit more money, and this kind of feels almost average in comparison. But now, I know you're all wondering, what's this bass sound like? You all know what you need to do. Go ahead and pinch that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. Yeah, so that is our JB-62CC here. And as you heard, there is quite a bit of fret buzz. To be honest, the fretwork on this particular example is definitely not up to par. The fret ends are just ever so slightly pokey, but more importantly, it's really difficult to dial this in. Whereas some other Harley Bentons that I have, like my PB20 SBK, as well as my Goto, most of the Goto ones that I've had, I was able to dial in near perfect without any issues. But this one, it was really hard to dial in, and I get a lot of fret buzz here. But yes, this is a typical jazz bass kind of setup. However, it is a bit on the bright side as well. I did say the same thing with the Harley Benton MV4 JB. I believe these are the same style Alnico 5 Roswell pickups. But let's go ahead and check out these pickups individually now. Let's start with the neck pickup. Now these are single coil pickups, so in a noisy electrical environment you will be getting some single coil hum. But anyways, here's the neck pickup, tone all the way open. Yeah, I mean, it sounds okay, but the playing experience is definitely not up to par compared to some of the, I guess, more higher-end jazz basses from Harley Benton. So, not really wowed by the playing experience here. Let's take the tone down to about 50%. And here's the tone all the way down. Not bad. Let's go ahead and solo our bridge pickup now. This bridge pickup is This bridge pickup is in the 60s position, so should have a bit more of a fuller sound compared to a 70s jazz bass. Here's the bridge pickup soloed, tone all the way open. Here's the tone at about 50%. And here's the tone all the way down. Let's take the tone back up and bring our neck pickup back into the mix, having both pickups together. Let's take our tone down to about 50%. Here's the tone all the way down. Okay, let's take the tone back up all the way and grab our pick. I'll leave both pickups engaged, and here's what that sounds like. Now let's solo our neck pickup. Tone all the way open with a pick. And then here is our bridge pickup soloed with a pick, tone all the way open. Now let's put the pick away, and we're going to have both pickups engaged once again and give this bass a slap. And now let's solo our neck pickup, slap some more. And let's solo our bridge pickup. Okay, let's go ahead and bring both pickups together one more time and throw some drums behind this bass. So here are my final thoughts on the Harley Benton JB-62CC. Honestly, I think that this bass kind of misses the mark. If we were living in a vacuum and 20 years ago and you told me that we could get a roasted maple neck bass That's a jazz bass with shell pink finish and a matching headstock and stuff for $144 plus shipping. Call it $200. I'd say you're crazy unless it was a Squire that somebody painted at home and they threw the neck in the oven and it melted or something like that. But regardless, this is spec-wise a really nice instrument. The playing experience is also a bit lackluster given the balance with the lightweight body and the heavy tuners, making this Neck Dive City. I should get some Neck Dive City t-shirts. What would you think about that? That would be pretty fun. Anyway. But I think that the biggest problem with this bass is we don't live in that vacuum, and there are other Harley Bentons that are much better equipped, better balanced, have better materials, and better hardware for not much more money. I'm looking at you, MV4JB. Though there's only the Sunburst available as of April 2023, it's a vastly superior instrument. I just filmed the review of the MV4PJ, and the neck and fretwork on that bass are almost flawless. Like, it's a really good playing experience, and I have so much fun playing that bass. That combined with the Godo tuners makes it balance very, very well. But this bass does not balance well, and you have to think about, holding that neck constantly. It's a much more involved playing experience than I'd like personally. So what am I going to rate the Harley Benton JB-62CC? I'm going to rate this bass 2 claws out of 5. Even at $144 plus shipping, I still don't think this is a great value, given that there's other much better basses in Harley Benton's own stable. That being said, of course we are going to mod this bass, and I have a very, very, very special mod project planned for this that is going to go head-to-head with a bass about 10 times its price. And it's a very special bass that is going to go head-to-head with too. You will see in that future video. But until then, those are my thoughts on the Harley Benton JB-62CC. Let me know what you think about this bass down in the comments below. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord channel, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about the Harley Benton JB-62CC. And as always, until we groove again,